Hey guys, welcome back. St. R. Edwards here. Welcome to the Ski channel, Swift Coding for Everyone. We're going to continue on in lesson 2.3 where we're talking about structures. And in this particular video, we're going to go over some more things about instance methods, and we're going to also talk about mutating methods. All right. So go ahead and open up a new project or the previous project that we were on if you'd like, and just create some space and just kind of follow along. All right. So say for instance, if you had a struct called size and you had some properties named height, which was a double. You had width, which was a double. And you wanted to calculate the area. How would you do that? Well, you will obviously create an instance method. So we'll start off with func and we'll say calculate area. And since these two properties are doubles, we'll say we want it to actually return a double as well. All right, and so what we'll say is we'll use the return keyword, all right, because we have to, and we'll say height times width. So now when you create, we'll say first object, we'll say size. All right, so we'll give it a height and width, and we'll say 8 by 12. And then we'll say calculate, right? So we're gonna call it now. We're gonna say first object dot calculate area. So now it's gonna do the math for us. And as you can see over in our right panel, the area of this object, this 8 by 12, is 96. All right, cool. Another thing you can do in the Swift programming language is you can actually have mutating methods. And what that is it can basically update your methods for you. And all you have to do is add the mutating word in front of the function. So for instance, like when you think about a car's odometer, what does the odometer do? It does a couple different things. So it increments, every time the car, reaches a mile or whatever distance, name it, whatever it's set at. It can increment, by a certain amount of numbers if you put it there, and then you can potentially reset the odometer too. If you were on a certain trip and you wanted to reset it, so you can do a lot of different things with odometers. But those are the few things that we'll just kind of implement in this struct that we're going to create. So in the case you wanted to update your functions in your struct that you were creating, all you had to do is add a keyword called mutating in front of the function's name or in front of the func keyword, and it'll actually update for you. So for instance, if you were building an app that had something to do with reading a car's odometer, well, there's probably a couple different things you want to do. One, you wanted to increment and update, the miles every time the car reaches a new mile. You could, increase by whatever mile, number that you input, or you could reset it. So we'll create a struct called odometer, and we'll say that the current count of the odometer, we'll say int, and we'll say it's equal to 0, and we'll say mutating func, we'll say increment, and this is just going to be count, right, plus equals 1. It's just going to add 1 mile for this particular instance method. And we're going to say increment again, but this one's going to be called by amount. And it'll be an int there, and this will be so it'll be count plus equals the amount that we give it. Then the last thing we want to do is what we say reset, right? So we'll say mutating func, and we'll say reset, and then we'll say now the count is back equal to 0. All right, so now we can say var odometer equals odometer. And we want to say, so let's just say we gave it an input of 1,000. All right, so we gave it an input of 1,000. So now we'll say odometer dot increment. And now the odometer will be, it'll be 1,000 plus 1. So it'll be 1,001 there. And if we were to say odometer dot increment by, you could put another, I don't know, let's say another 20 miles on it. So now it's 1,021. And then you can do odometer dot reset. And now the odometer is back at 0, right? So as you can see, I clicked on the little box over here in our right panel, and you can see that the count is currently at 1,001 for the first call of dot increment. And now when I go to increment by 20, you should see 1021, as you can see. And now back, when we go to reset, now the count is back at 0. All right. So that's an example of how you can have your functions mutate and update, when you call them. Stay tuned for more of the Ski channel. I'm St. R. Edwards checking out. Take care.